Hey guys, welcome back. Just wanted to provide a midday update to the Conflict of Nations new player tutorial that we're doing here. So, as you can see, we're at war with Cambodia. We're also at war with Malaysia. For those of you not really familiar with the geography here, Malaysia is also this, kind of attached to Indonesia here. And this little city here, Brunei, that is a different nation. So I'm gonna have to go to war with Brunei or Indonesia to get this piece of land. Okay, so that's fine. We're gonna leave that alone. I'm not really worried about it. If Indonesia is active, they may decide to take that land. Brunei is not a player country. That's another AI country, so that'll be there unless Indonesia does something about it. All right, so I did manage to join Ukraine and Poland over here. So these guys are on my team now. And diplomacy is a very big part of this game. You can see I messaged Poland. Poland is the leader of this coalition. And, just introduce myself. Apply to the coalition. You seem receptive, and now I'm in. And let's not forget why we did this, because Ukraine here, look at that, 7.9 KD. It's ridiculous. Like I mentioned in the last episode, this guy is for sure spending money. He's for sure using gold. Whatever. I don't like to use gold. I think it makes the game kind of boring and unfair. It's kind of a cheap way to win. Well, not cheap, it's expensive. It's an expensive way to win. So it looks like Myanmar is teamed up with China. So this is kind of a threat to me. The Asian 5 legacy, China's weak, Myanmar weak. So these guys, I would rather not have these two guys teamed up surrounding me. I feel like it would make the most sense for Myanmar to attack me. So I think as soon as I get done with Malaysia and Cambodia, I'm going to go ahead and just take this guy out, because I can't just have him sitting here getting strong on my border. I don't feel like I have to worry about Indonesia or Vietnam. Look, they haven't built anything. These guys are straight up noobs. They don't know what they're doing. Either that or they're just inactive. So, you can see, Indonesia's building like a hospital out here in an airfield out here in the middle of nowhere. I don't even think he knows what he's doing. Australia, again, hasn't built anything yet. There's Philippines. We got a little bit of action going on here with Philippines. Let's see. He's in that coalition also. Also, not a great player. So what I need to do is I need to get, I think, some ships in the water and some helicopters. But I'm going to have to wait until the day changes. So it's 21:11 right now. I have to wait till 24. It'll be day 2. I can start building the helicopter gunship. The helicopter gunship is going to be better against infantry. Look at the details. See, 7 attack versus infantry, only 2 versus armor. Okay, I could research the attack helicopter right now. I don't have enough resources to, but it is available. And the reason I'm not going to at this stage in the game is because you need a level 2 air base. I do not yet have a level 2 airbase, so it would be kind of a waste of resources for me to research this at this point. Again, I'm doing this game without gold, so I'm not going to gold pump an airbase. I'm going to let it build, but for right now, I think the gunship is the better option. But you can see the attack helicopter is a lot better versus armor, a lot weaker versus infantry, which is okay because we're day 1, about to be day 2. No one is going to have tanks yet at this point in the game. Tanks are kind of a waste of resources. I don't really use tanks. I don't really use armor at all other than recon vehicles. I don't think I'm going to use recon vehicles in this game because I need to focus more on Navy and air power than ground war. See, most of these guys' cities are accessible from the water. There's a couple inland ones in Myanmar. There's a couple inland ones here in Vietnam. But see, all of Indonesia's are coastal. All the Philippines are coastal. Majority of China's are coastal. Even Zhangzhou here is inland, but it still has a port. I can get there by the sea. Beijing is a little bit off the coast. That's okay. And there's a couple more. There's Lanzhou and Lhasa, which are gonna be. We're gonna get to those when we have some artillery or some sort of ranged weapons. Or maybe we could build an air base closer. India. Now, India is one of my favorite countries to play as. It was not available this game. If you recall the list of countries we had in the last game, it was already taken, but you can see this guy's not doing anything with it. See who this is. See, it's like a new player. He's almost a level 17, but he's played 138 games, hasn't won a single one of them. Kind of a terrible player, to be honest with you. Played more games than I have. Okay. Japan's a good country. This guy is a noob, doesn't know what he's doing. Looks like the Koreas are relatively active. They'll probably fight each other. Or China. South Korea is teamed up with China, so North Korea. Average player, he's okay. But see, the Koreas are terrible countries to be. They only have 4 cities each. You have these 4 here for South Carolina, South Korea, and these 4 for North Korea. So they're pretty weak. You have New Zealand over here. New Zealand looks like he's building a little bit, not much. But New Zealand will probably take Australia. It'll be a while before he comes into my region here. So my biggest concern right now is going to be Myanmar. Okay, China has enough other stuff to occupy himself with to where I don't feel like an imminent threat. He doesn't border me directly. He's probably going to deal with, the Koreas, Mongolia, this Uyghur area up here, maybe India, Japan. I'm not really number 1 on his radar, but Myanmar is definitely where I need to be paying attention. I need to take that guy out, and that's exactly what we're gonna do as soon as I get some helicopters and maybe a ship or 2. We're gonna go ahead and kill that guy and get him out of the picture, because when that domino falls, then it's go time on China, Philippines, and South Korea. And I'm not worried about any of these guys because none of them know what the hell they're doing. Okay, if you watch this and you see how I play, you're going to understand why I'm not concerned about those guys. Now, if they are very organized and they come with a concerted effort and invade me with overwhelming force, yeah, I'm going to be screwed. But I don't feel like that's going to happen. They probably don't even realize how much of a threat I am yet. And that's okay. That's for the better. I don't want to make a bunch of noise. I don't want to draw a bunch of attention to myself. I don't want to be in the news here talking trash like these guys. Like, what is this? This guy's going to put Muslims in Auschwitz. Syria is jibber jabbering in Arabic. Russia's talking trash to Finland and China. You know, I don't need I don't need to be involved with this. I don't want to make a target of myself, especially when I'm a new player and I'm just getting started in the game, right? It's better to speak softly and carry a big stick. I think, as Teddy Roosevelt would say. I think it was Teddy Roosevelt. All right, so that's pretty much it for now. You can see my guys are making progress here. Just about got Cambodia's rural land sewn up. They're going to be merging in about another 8 hours. So let's see. That'll be a little past midnight my time. I'm gonna go ahead and let this artillery come up here to this mountain region and start firing on Kuala Lumpur. And the reason why I want my artillery to go to the mountain region instead of the jungle region, you see jungle versus mountain. Okay, so the reason why is because if we let's look at the information on this artillery. You can see down here at the bottom, terrain information. You can see it does its normal amount of damage. So that's 3 versus infantry, 1.5 versus armor. And it does that damage on flat land, urban areas, suburban areas, desert, and it does an extra 25% of damage on mountains. I'm guessing they're saying, it has the high ground. The range is more for artillery when it's up on a mountain. This is in real life. In the game, the range doesn't change, but I'm just guessing as to why they would do this attack modifier to plus 25% in mountainous regions. But regardless, that's the reason why we're going to a mountain region. If I'm in the forest, if I'm in the jungle, or if I'm in a snowy area, you're minus 50%. So if you're minus 50%, man, you're only doing 1.5 damage. That's pretty terrible. So we're going to be doing like 3.6 or 3.7 damage in the mountain areas. That's okay. Not great. But it's level 1 artillery. So it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to let him go down there, start firing on Kuala Lumpur. I'm going to have this guy here. He's going to go ahead and swoop up the rest of that rural land, get that out of the way. When I kill the troops at Kuala Lumpur, I'm going to move my artillery to fire on Singapore. I'm going to use this single troop to hold the land at Kuala Lumpur. And then I'm going to use these 2 troops that are grouped with my artillery to take Singapore. So that'll be a nice 2 cities there. 1 city in Phnom Penh. And that should put me at what? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cities. So that'll be a decent start to bring us into day 2 there. And then we're gearing up for the showdown with Myanmar. So we're probably going to end up going to war with Myanmar tomorrow. And hopefully I'll be able to get some helicopters started here shortly. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the marketplace. I'm going to go ahead and spend the rest of the money I have on some rare materials, try to get that started. Because look, if I go here, I'm making $11,000 per day. I'm only making 1,042 rare materials per day. So What do I need? What do I need to get that helicopter? We need 1,450 rare materials, and we need $2,750. I'm good on supplies. So it's actually, it's going to take me longer to make that extra 500 rare materials that I need than the $2,750 that I need to start researching that. That's okay. Sometime tonight, we'll get it started. We'll get it cracking. It's going to take 1 day and 1 hour. So that's not going to be done until, I'm not going to have those research until day 3. Maybe I'll have a helicopter in the air at the end of day 3. So I can't really count on having my helicopters for Myanmar tomorrow, but I can get into some defensive positions, maybe try to provoke them into doing something. I could maybe, man, yeah. All I can really do is just I'm gonna have some new troops here in a few hours, so I'll group them up, put them on my border there, and we're gonna get ready for that showdown. Okay. If he tries to invade me, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to rush all my troops into his troops as they invade. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my cities, and I'm going to use the defense bonus, okay? So look, this guy right here, or these two guys, if you look at the bottom, you see the little castle, and it says plus 25%, so that's a defensive bonus. So they're going to take 25% less damage because they're in their home city. They're at the province center. Incoming damage reduced by 25%. So you can see their attack damage is 6. Their defense damage is 9.4. Okay, so when the other guys come in, they're going to be coming in doing, let's say they send 2 troops against my 2 troops. Mine are going to be defending with 9.4 damage. They're only going to be hitting me for 6, minus the 25%. So they're really going to be hitting me for like 4.5. So that's great. 4.5 versus almost 9.5. That's we're talking about more than double. So it's going to take them like 4 guys to take out my 2 guys. So that's great. Yep. I will provide another update when necessary, and we'll just keep this ball rolling, okay? All right, have a great day, guys.